Men who swear will never be powerful, and I'm going to tell you exactly why today. Chances are, if you're watching this, you are somebody who has sworn today. So this applies to men, this applies to everyone everywhere. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why you should stop swearing, and also explain exactly why is it even important in the first place. Why is it important for us men to not swear? Chances are you're thinking it's just words, it doesn't really matter. I swear, my parents swear, my grandma even swears sometimes. For people that don't know me, my name is Sean, otherwise known as Shanzo, and I'm a competitive Super Smash Bros. Ultimate player. I'm also a competitive bodybuilder, striving to level up every day of my life, and I'm here to help you guys level up just the same, okay? Let's get right into it. You can just start off by imagining me at age 9. Near impossible task, but let's just say I was a little bit shorter, a little bit chubbier, a lot less muscle. I swore a lot, but before I didn't even know what swearing was. I was like 7 or 8. I knew there were like bad words. I didn't even know how babies were made, but I was a young kid. I was pretty innocent. And I started riding the bus at this new town I started living. And I had friends that would swear and they would say these new words that I had no idea what they meant. I just knew they were bad. I thought they were cooler. They basically were more mature than me. They were cool. They were swearing. They were, vaping. They were doing all this stuff. And we were only 9 or 10 years old. And I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be exactly like these people because they're older, they're cooler, whatever. I then turned into that person. Every time I was on the bus, I would have no filter. I'd say whatever came to my head. And that was kind of the culture over there. That was like, you say whatever you want. You're in the back of the bus. There's no adults back there. We had Fight Club back then. Okay. So there was the back of the bus where there was like all the cool kids and myself. I separate the cool kids and myself because I actually wasn't a cool kid. I was just trying to be like one. I was a wannabe. And then there was the front of the bus with all like the young kids and the, all the goody two-shoes. They would sit by the bus driver and they talk to him. And then there was the kids in the middle. And the kids in the middle, it was actually it was a very great gradient. Okay, there was like the bad kids on the back, the okay kids in the middle, and then the good kids in the front, right? But in the middle, there were a lot of girls. I started having a crush on this one girl, okay? And she was very sweet, she was very kind. I didn't know much about her, but I just saw her on the bus and I thought she was cute. And one time, I met her in school. I went up to her, introduced myself. She was like, oh, I'm so-and-so. And she goes, oh, actually, I recognize you. Yeah, aren't you the kid on the bus that swears all the time? And I was like, how do you even respond to that? As a kid, I'm 13 years old maybe, but she knew that I swore, like all the time, like probably way more than I should have. And I was identified as the kid that swears all the time. And that is not a good look for anybody. Like, you're probably, like, you can imagine a man, you like the biker, you cussing like a sailor, they say. But that's not attractive at all. And it truly just resembles a lack of filter that you have, a lack of control over your own self. I want to bring it to you guys. I want to say, do you want to be the guy that swears? Do you want to be known as the guy that swears and known as the guy that swears all the time way too much, saying F this, S this? You know people like that. Okay, I'm sure you can think of at least one person off the top of your head that swears way too much and just has no filter. And you're like, yeah, that guy's off his freaking rocker. And that's a call out. I want you to comment if you think you're that person. You'd have the nuts if you did. Whoever that may be. Seems to flex. Oh my gosh. You don't want to be known as the guy who swears. Okay, that is already starting you off way lower. Because now people know you have no filter, you can't control your words, you can't control your actions then because your actions are the words that you're saying. If you can't control yourself, people aren't going to give you the respect. People will give you more respect if you are able to control yourself. If you don't have control over yourself, you're a danger. You're a danger to yourself, you're a danger to society. Even if it's something as swearing, if it's something as simple as swearing, that's still extremely important. And again, if you want to check out more of what I do, top link in the description is my school page. I go into more depth and detail. If you guys like this kind of content, if you want way more detail, check it out. Okay, and story number 2 actually takes place at a party. Okay, and this happened a few months ago back when I was in college, and we were playing cup pong, okay? It was with beer because I'm 21. I'm able to say that, okay? And basically in cup pong, I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it, but in cup pong, you basically have to take a ping pong ball, throw it across the table, land it in a cup, okay? I was all on the flick of the wrist. I was great. And I'll challenge any of y'all to a cup pong match anytime, anywhere. At your date and time, let me know. I'll personally show up at your door and beat you in cup pong. As you hit the cups, you take away the cups, and it leaves this really messy array of cups, okay? You can call for a re-rack. One of these re-racks has a bad word in it. I'm not gonna say what it is because this is a family-friendly channel. I didn't know how to ask for the re-rack because the re-rack was boom, boom. Like it was bad word, okay? And I had to be like, can you re-rack? And they're like, yeah, what re-rack? I'm like, I don't know. And my friend had to be like, oh, he doesn't swear. And kind of everybody went silent for a second. They were like, oh, okay. And he swore for me. I guess there had to have been a better way. It's Diamond, okay? Diamond was the re-rack, if you guys are interested. So it's cup on the top, 2 cups on the side, 1 cup on the bottom. For those who know, it made me stand out, okay? And my favorite thing I say is that you gotta be odd to be number one, all right? And you gotta stand out if you wanna be special, if you wanna make it there, if you wanna be above everybody else, you wanna surpass people in social aspects and strength and training and esports and bodybuilding and anything. You gotta be a little bit different, and people are gonna judge you. I'm sure people judge me for not swearing sometimes too, but it does make you more powerful. It makes you stand out. And that's especially important in today's day and age, where everybody is just trying to blend in. Everybody's just, doing their own thing, just enjoying life. I'm just hanging out, bro. You gotta be a little bit different. You gotta be odd to be number one, okay? And for me, that's not swearing. I don't swear. Obviously, I'll mess up every now and then, like maybe once every other day, I might say a bad word, it's oopsies, and I apologize. But the sentiment of not swearing, especially around other people, really makes you stick out. And people will remember that about you. I promise you. People will remember. If you are the guy that doesn't swear, people will remember that. People will remember you, and people will respect you more as a person. It elevates your value. The wind's coming up now, so if that's picking up in the background, I apologize. But I want to get this point across where it made me stick out in that party. All of a sudden, I wasn't just some guy at the party. I wasn't just a guy ripping in cup pong, owning the table like I always do. I was the guy that doesn't swear now. And people, you stick out like a sore thumb in the best way possible, okay? Again, it's about that respect. It's about the difference. It's about standing out in the best way possible. If you guys made it this far, something really creative, drop in the comments the word that you actually like to use instead of these swears. Not the substitutes necessarily, but how do you get your point across in a way that makes something more powerful, more punchy without swearing? How do you guys do that? What kind of words do you use? Like I said, this third story is gonna get a little bit personal, so here you go. This story starts off with a girl, okay? And she was one of these girls that I dated. She was very religious, very kind, very wholesome, but she said something to me that really stuck with me to today. What she said was, she said, Shanzo, not Shanzo. She says, Sean, I noticed that you don't swear. She goes, that really sticks out to me. I go, why? She goes, so many guys, just everybody swears all the time. And me personally, I don't swear either. And it actually means a lot to me that you control yourself and like you're so aware of yourself and the things that you say. I think that's special. And how many of you guys can say that a girl's ever even said that to you? How many of you guys have even talked to a girl? No, I'm kidding. She pointed out something about me that I didn't force on to anybody. I didn't go, hey, I don't swear, right? I didn't go around to people and I go, just so you know, I say frickin' instead of, just kidding. Again, I didn't force it on to anybody. It was just a passive thing that I do myself that resonates with me, that pertains to me and my person and my character, and it shows. I'm sure some of you guys have noticed too, and I've made videos about it. Again, check them out, plug. But again, I'm sure you guys have kind of noticed, I don't go around flaunting, maybe I do, but I don't go around flaunting to people, hey, just so you know I'm religious. Hey, just so you know I don't swear. Hey, just so you know, blah, 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 right? But people pick up on it, and that's the most special. That's the most special. When people pick up on something that you don't even tell them about, and it's a special something about your character that makes you stick out. That's the most special. Remember, story number 1 was about the girl on the bus that I had a crush on when I was 13, okay? She came up to me and she goes, oh, you're Sean. You're the guy that swears all the time. And that made me realize, goes, oh, crap, I am the guy that swears all the time. It made me realize that I had that habit. And remember, story number 2 was at the party, we're playing cup pong. They realized, oh, Shanzo doesn't swear. That makes him different. It makes you stand out. It gives you respect. It makes people realize this guy's not messing around. This guy actually has respect for himself and the people that are around him. He has the strength to control what he's saying. Story number 3 was that girl I was dating where she said, Sean, I realize you don't swear. I really respect that about you. And these 3 stories basically all lead into each other, where first it was, I was swearing all the time. I was made aware of it. 2, wow, you stick out. But nobody really says it, you just kind of feel it. You know, I stopped swearing, it was made apparent that I don't swear, and I kind of felt the aura, as the kids call it. And then story number 3, it's confirmed by the girl I was dating, where she says, Sean, I really respect that you don't swear. That's very special. Nobody does that. And that makes you stick out. But guys, again, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys want to see more of this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for the YouTube algorithm. And again, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. I want to bring more people, especially young adults, in the gaming field. I want to make you guys better people. I want to bring value. I want to make sure that we are leading each other to salvation. Iron sharpens iron, boys. Again, I love you guys. I want to do the best for you guys. So if you have any more ideas for videos, content, editing style, anything you guys want to see, do, hear, whatever, I'm here for you guys. I want to hear from you guys. I'll talk to you, all right? And again, like I say at the end of all of my videos, life is a dice roll. You just got to roll the dice a hell of a lot more than everybody else. And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.